This is Jeffrey Munson at munsondance.com, and this is Patty. She's going to help me in the 103 class tonight. And what we did tonight, we talked about body flight, and we did kind of a fun move tonight as well. So, and we talked about turns. Now, just so you know, I have a separate video on turns that I'll download with this, so you can just see that separately. So we'll just go over the talk about the body flight. And this is going to be a real quick synopsis. If Patty sits down, actually, how about I'll do it wrong first. Most people, when we say sit down, they sit down like this. And they get up, they go, right? They get up like that. Most of us do that. But if you're sitting down correctly, do you see how smoothly she sat down? Now she gets up. She gets up. There we go. Now how she did that, when she sat down, go ahead and sit down. When she sat down, there's more to this, talking about gravity lines and different things. This is a quick reminder for everyone who's in class. From where your trachea is down to your heart, there's a strip. And I want to pretend that there's a handle there. And what's going to happen, that handle, she's going to not stand up. She's going to pull this forward and upwards, okay? What you'll notice is her hips start to roll. So her hips roll as this goes up. And that, as she pulls that up, is what allows her to stand up without having to use her quads. What's happening, your bones are lining up. And so you structured all your bones to stand up versus using your arms or whatever to get out of the chair. So when she sits down, she does exactly the same thing. This goes forward and upward, and her hips go backwards. Now, how does that got to do with... yeah, the sound was a chair. Okay. So that release of air was the chair, just so we know. So the idea has to be, well, how do we use this in dance? Go ahead and stand up. Thank you. Thank you. Chair, stay right there. Is well, when we move across the floor, I'll do it quick. When we move across the floor, it's like peeling two sticky pages apart. You pull them apart at the same time. This goes forward, and my hip goes backwards. So I have two different directions, and my body, if I were doing Latin, my body moves and then my foot lands underneath me. Well, body flight is the best definition I can give you is the movement of the body with your feet collecting. So if I move forward, and Patty can do this with me, if we move forward and my foot comes underneath me, if I do it wrong, I have something that looks like this. I have my feet ahead of me. Now, you might say, well, your feet are ahead of you here, okay? Well, if you look, my heel is in line with my chest. And then I have the foot to finish the next beat, which is the hand beat. So I want you to practice getting up, sitting down in a chair. It's a great practice. And then when you move, feel like you're moving and someone's got a hand in here and they're going to pull you and they're going to drag you across the floor, okay? So that's a real quick, brief idea about the body flight portion of it. Now the move we did was just a whip. It was a basic whip, 2, 3, and 4. And what we did, guys, instead of straddling here on the 4 like we do on our basic whip, we're going to underturn it. So I'm facing in a 90-degree angle towards this wall and towards my partner. So I'm going to whip around, all the way around. I'm going to take my head first, and I'm going to come all the way around. Okay? So my feet, my right foot is in 3rd position. Okay, then I'm going to step down and then step and then release 5 and 6. So again, so it goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the pattern we did, let's go over here just a little bit, was a switch in the whip. So we went 1, 2, 3, and 4, switch. Then we walked on the rail, walk, walk. Now guys, I replace my weight here. I step, replace, side, forward, and cross. And I turned her, I switched her. So when we're in this step, here, she's on her right foot, I'm on my left. Okay? I'm going to step back, but I'm going to place her weight on her foot. So you see how the stretch I gave her? Replace. I step side, and that brings her forward. Now the trick on this, as soon as she's forward, she's on that foot, I got to turn her, and I step through and release her and ask her to step backwards. She's just shifting weight, isn't she? She's not moving her feet real big. So if I do the actual pattern, it goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right there is where I let her back on 8. But I have to really nail that and because that's when she's turning. So guys, on the and beat, you're going to notice I go, whatever number this is, step, and I'm straddling. So I've got to get to that foot as fast as I can to get her on her foot so she pivots, and then 8. And then we just walked out. We did a throw out with an inside turn. We went 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the whole move from this side, the whole combo, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. And we talked about the inside turn for the women. That'll be on the other video that you'll see on turns. So, Patty, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. Bye.